In this video, let us introduce typesetting citations and bibliographic references in LaTeX with the BibTeX tool. Note that if you need to conform the ISO 690 citation standard, BibTeX is not the best option and it is better to use BibLaTeX in this case instead. BibLaTeX is introduced in another video. BibTeX is an external tool with completely different way of use compared to the bibliography environment. The bibliography environment is introduced in just another video. To just sum up, in the bibliography environment, we need to define the form of each bibliographic reference, how it should appear. So the order of items, the letter case, the format, the order of items, all that we need to define. In contrast, the BibTeX tool uses a citation database where we represent each information source by metadata. The citation database is a plain text file with the bib file name extension. Its syntax is quite simple. Each entry starts with add and the publication category. There are many possible publication categories. For example, in proceedings mean some paper in proceedings. Article means an article in a journal. A book means just a book, or the misc means miscellaneous. It's something which is not some other category. Each publication is stored in curly braces, and the content within the curly braces starts always with a label. This is the label which can be used to cite from within the text body using the cite command. All the items inside are delimited with commas. The order of the remaining items does not matter. They are all written in the form key equals sign and the value. The value is always delimited with either curly braces or quotation marks. You do not always need to enter the data in the database manually. In fact, most people do not do it. As we usually use some searching services, we may find them helpful with citing as well. For finding expert information, one such service is Google Scholar. We can use it as any other search service, so for finding, and when we choose some publication, we may cite it directly, and what's important, export the citation as BibTeX. So the BibTeX citation is generated, and we just take it and paste it into our citation database. However, it is not always possible to export BibTeX citation for some particular information source we need. Suppose we need to cite some discussion thread. A citation generator would be helpful in this case. One such citation generator is the citation machine. We may use it simply in that way that we choose to cite, choose the BibTeX style, choose the category of publication, and either use the search engine or enter the data manually. Then we just enter the data about our cited information source, such as title, website title, the URL, and the date of citation, or whatever else we need to add. So this citation generator generates for us the BibTeX form, and we just paste it inside our database as well. Well, sometimes the exported form needs to be reviewed and corrected. For instance, in this case, the label should not contain spaces, so we need to correct it to the spaceless form. So now we know how to manage and create our citation database. Next, how to make BibTeX generate a list of bibliographic references for us. For this task, we do not need to enter the bibliography environment manually, because in fact BibTeX does this task for us. So we remove the bibliography environment definitely if it's present, and we need to use the commands which BibTeX understands. So there are basically two required commands. Firstly, we need bibliography command. Bibliography means generate the list of bibliographic references here in this place. The bibliography command takes one required argument, which is the comma-separated list of bibliographic databases. The second required command is bibliography style. We introduce bibliographic style later in this video. So once we try to generate it, we find out that BibTeX generates only references which are really cited in our work. As we cite nothing so far, the list is empty. To cite something, we use the cite command, and the cite command takes one mandatory argument, which is the label. Which label? It is the label placed inside as the first item in the BibTeX citation. So after placing a cite, the cited reference is placed in the list of bibliographic reference, and moreover there's a reference, a link from the text body to the list of references and to the particular publication. Well, the form of the link, this number, is fully determined by style, and we will introduce styles in just a moment. One question may arise: what publication category and publication metadata and a particular form of metadata may we enter in our citation database? Well, this is determined by the bibliographic style. It is a style what is responsible for transformation the metadata into the list of bibliographic references in its particular form. So what is the style for BibTeX? The style is a plain text file with the BST file name extension. The BST stands for bibliographic style. In fact, it's a script written in a special BibTeX language. So the style determines the form of the metadata in our citation database, and moreover it determines the transformation from the metadata to the list of references. Well, they all differ, so the metadata also differ. So we need to form our metadata based on the style we are going to use. But most of the styles follow the same or very similar conventions, so we need to take aware of the conventions. One of the most important convention is the form of author metadata. It's the way how to write authors' names. One common convention is to write authors in quite natural way, which is given names and followed by surname, always delimited with space. When we have multiple authors, we always put the AND keyword between them. We use the AND keyword regardless the number of authors. So in case we have more than 2 authors, we still use AND keyword. This is not a mistake, and it doesn't mean that this AND word is placed into the resulting list of references regardless whatever, because it is the style which is responsible for the real delimiting of the authors. So some style may replace ANDs with commas, another style may replace them with semicolons or with something else, including AND, of course. So one way of writing names is first names followed by surname, always delimited with space. Another way is reversed form, which is the surname followed by comma, always with comma, followed with the list of first names, delimited with space. So we can choose one form, the natural form, or the reversed form. If we stick to those forms, to those conventions, any BibTeX style can safely tell what is surname, what is given name, and it can always sort it out in the output correctly, including uppercasing surnames if it's desired. The content of the metadata is obviously changed, altered from the source metadata to the output. One thing is the order of first name, surname, another thing is letter case. This is usually what is desired, but sometimes there are exceptions. For instance, when we enter some enterprise as an author, we usually do not want any style to alter the information, both the order of words inside the name of enterprise or the letter case. So we may prevent this behavior by using double delimiters. So to remind, we always delimit each textual information with either quotation marks or curly braces. What if we put a delimiter inside delimiter? For instance, curly braces inside quotations or curly braces inside curly braces. Well, this second delimiter means this what is inside is a single entity which should not be altered. So most BibTeX styles follow this convention and really do not alter anything which is inside the second delimiter inside delimiter. What if we need to conform the ISO 690 citation standard for our list of references? There's a bad news, as there exists no style which fully conforms this ISO standard. You may find two styles, CSN 690 and ISO 690, as part of our faculty templates for bachelor's and master's thesis. But the bad news is they do not work correctly, and in fact it's strongly discouraged to use any of them. If you still need to conform the ISO 690 citation standard, it is recommended not to use BibTeX at all. The good news is that there exists a solution. There exists a modern re-implementation of BibTeX, which is called BibLaTeX. And BibLaTeX conforms the ISO standard. We introduce BibLaTeX in just another video.